Hello everyone! Today's tale comes from the deep blue coastlines of Tango and Tajima, where the sea whispers of lost time and vanished dreams. It's the bittersweet legend of a kind fisherman who saved a turtle and found a paradise beyond the waves. The story of Urashima Taro.
Long ago, in a fishing village by the wild Japan Sea, there lived a young man named Urashima Taro. He was known across the coast for his gentle heart, especially toward the creatures of the sea. Taro lived humbly with his aging parents, venturing out every dawn in his small wooden boat. He found happiness in simple things: the hush before sunrise, the silvery flash of sardines in his net, the songs he hummed softly to calm the waves. One spring morning, as the mists curled and drifted over the sand, Taro saw a crowd of children gathered in a noisy circle. They were laughing and poking at something, a small turtle. "Stop, my friends," Taro called, hurrying over. "Such a gentle creature deserves kindness, not cruelty." He gave the children his only coins, asking them to spend them on sweet rice cakes instead. The turtle blinked up at him, and he felt a strange sense of connection, almost as if the ancient eyes knew him. Taro carried the little turtle gently to the water and released it. It floated for a moment, then dove beneath the waves. Though Taro forgot the incident quickly, a dream visited him that night. He drifted through a forest of coral, and a silvery turtle beckoned him onward. Days passed, and Taro returned to his daily fishing. But luck abandoned him, the nets came up empty, and he felt a growing sadness. One afternoon, as he nodded off in his boat, he was awakened by a strange swishing sound. He looked up to see a massive turtle rising from the depths, shell like jade and eyes like polished pearls. "Gentle fisherman," said the turtle in a voice as old and clear as the sea, "I am the one you saved. My mistress, Princess Otohime, daughter of the Dragon King, wishes to thank you in her kingdom beneath the waves. Climb onto my back." In awe but without fear, Taro obeyed. Instantly, the sky and sea blurred and he found himself borne down through glittering corridors of water. They passed forests of swaying kelp where lanternfish lit the path, octopuses twirled, and clouds of shrimp drifted by like confetti. Schools of fish parted for them, and Taro glimpsed strange wonders: crabs singing, sea flowers blooming, gardens of coral in all colors and shapes. At last, they arrived at Ryūgū-jō, the Dragon Palace. Its walls shone with nacre and gold, and every gate was set with pearls. Four distinct wings stood within, one always in the haze of spring cherry blossoms, one ablaze with summer sunlight and lotuses, one rippling with golden autumn leaves, and one sparkling with gentle snow. Servants in shimmering robes, maidens of the sea, bowed to him, and music threaded through the water like laughter. Princess Otohime awaited in the palace's heart, radiant and gentle, robed in colors like the sunrise over the tide. She greeted Taro with warmth. "Noble fisherman, yesterday you saved my life. Now you are welcome forever in the land where summer never dies and sorrow never comes." Otohime herself revealed she was once the turtle, transformed through magic. She invited Taro to dine, each meal more wonderful than the last: grilled sea bream, sweet sake in gleaming cups, fruits of the sea he'd only imagined. Time passed strangely in Ryūgū-jō. Taro danced at feasts, watched the changing seasons in the palace gardens, listened to music and learned legends from Otohime and her maidens. He explored crystal caverns where tiny dragons slept, visited underwater forests full of bioluminescent creatures, and marveled at treasures gleaming in secret halls. At one festival, Taro donned a robe woven from jellyfish silk and played games with the palace children, who could leap and swirl in water as easily as on land. Some days, he watched as messenger turtles brought news from the land above. On others, Otohime told him secrets of old, stories of the Dragon King's power, the season's endless cycle, the mystery of the tamatebako. Yet, as the moons shifted, Taro's mind wandered back to his family, his village, and the simple beauty of his old life. His heart ached for the familiar. Finally, Taro bowed before Otohime and confessed his longing to see home. The princess tried to hide her sorrow, but her eyes sparkled with unshed tears. "If you truly wish to return, take this tamatebako. Guard it, but never open it. It holds what you left behind." Taro promised, and after a final feast, climbed once more onto the turtle's back. They sped upward through the blue, breaking the surface beneath a bright, unfamiliar sun. Returning to shore, Taro searched for his parents' cottage, the village shrine, and the familiar faces of his youth. Instead, he found a changed world, new buildings, strangers, a coastline reshaped. Nobody recognized his name, but elders whispered of a fisherman who had vanished into the sea hundreds of years before. Alone, lost, and bewildered, Taro sat on a rock and gazed at the beautiful tamatebako. He hesitated. But despair overcame caution. In hope, in sadness, he opened the box. Silver mist swirled out. It wrapped around him like the sea's embrace. His hair turned snow white, his back hunched, and centuries washed across his body in moments. From far away, on the breeze, came the sorrowful song of Princess Otohime. You opened the box. Inside was your lost time and your old age. Now you must say goodbye. As the mist faded, the waves rolled gently in. Urashima Taro was gone, remembered only by the sea, the whisper of the surf, and the legend passed down through generations.
Sometimes what we think is forever is only a moment. And what we leave behind keeps moving, even when we cannot. Next time I stand by the sea, I'll remember Taro's gentle courage, and the shimmering palace that waits somewhere beyond the tide. If you enjoyed today's tale, please like, subscribe, and share it with friends who love Japanese culture and folktales. Until next time, keep your heart gentle, your spirit curious, and your tea warm. And if you have a moment, join me for a look at the real places and legends behind this timeless story.
Ancient texts, Urashimiko, time, and poetry. Long before the story was read to children or sung in classrooms. It lived quietly, in poems and chronicles written more than 1,200 years ago. Back then, our hero wasn't called Urashima Taro at all. His name was Urashimiko, the child of Ura. And he appears in the Man'yōshū, Japan's oldest poetry collection from the 8th century. In that ancient poem, a fisherman sails beyond the human world and reaches the land of the sea god, a place of eternal youth and beauty. But when he finally returns home, centuries have passed. This mysterious bending of time echoed the Buddhist idea of mujō, impermanence. The belief that nothing lasts, not even dreams or joy. In heaven or under the sea, time flows differently. And when mortals cross between realms, they can never truly return. Old chronicles like the Nihon Shoki tell of Urashimiko of Mizuno, who catches a turtle that transforms into a woman. She leads him to Mount Horai, also called Tokoyo, a paradise where time stands still. Later, in the Fudoki of Tango Province, Urashimiko keeps a 5-colored turtle in his boat. And while he sleeps, it becomes a beautiful woman. Centuries later, these fragments blossomed into the story we know today. The kind fisherman, the rescued turtle, the shining palace, and the forbidden tamatebako, the jeweled box of time. The medieval Otohime and Meiji-era schoolbooks added warmth and morality. And so the quiet legend of Urashima became the world-famous Urashima Taro, layered like waves over the ancient bones of myth and poetry. 2. Where the sea breathes, the places that remember him. If you travel along the old coastlines of Tango Province in northern Kyoto, you can still feel the sea breeze that carried Urashima away. In Ine town, there stands Urashima Shrine, also known as Ryūgū-jō, set to guard the fisherman's memory. Inside, villagers still show a small wooden box, believed to be the original tamatebako, the very box that once held the weight of centuries. Nearby lies Tango Shrine, where he is worshipped not as a man, but as a guardian spirit of the sea. Farther along the coast, in Kinosaki and Taijima, people whisper that certain caves glow faintly after sunset. Gateways to Ryūgū-jō, the dragon palace beneath the waves. Even in Yokohama, an old temple once kept what it claimed were Urashima's relics: his fishing line and the mysterious box. The temple burned in the 19th century, but the legend still lingers like salt on the breeze. From north to south, shrine to shrine, Japan's coastlines all tell their own version. Not to compete, but to keep the story alive. To anchor this drifting tale of time and sea onto their own shores. 3. Symbols, morals, and the weight of time. Every ripple in the Urashima legend carries meaning, each more delicate than sea foam, yet just as deep. Impermanence, mujō. Everything changes. Even joy fades. The sea palace may last forever, but human life cannot. Kindness and reciprocity. Urashima's compassion for the turtle opens the gate to paradise, reminding us that a single act of kindness can echo across worlds. Curiosity and transgression. The tamatebako is the heart of temptation, the knowledge we are told not to seek, the secret that can never be unlearned. Duality of worlds. Ryūgū-jō is wondrous, eternal, but paradise and home can never exist together. To return to one is to lose the other. Identity and memory. When Urashima opens the box and time bursts forth, he becomes an old man, or in some older versions, he transforms into a white crane, while Princess Otohime returns to her turtle form, flying apart forever. A symbol that love and time can never be bound together. Each version leaves us wondering, was it a punishment or mercy? A tragedy or a release? Perhaps that's why the story endures, because it holds both joy and sorrow in the same breath. 4. Distant echoes, tales that cross the seas. The legend of Urashima does not live in Japan alone. Across the oceans, other cultures tell similar tales, as if humanity shares one dream about time, loss, and longing. In Ireland, the hero Oisín visits the fairy realm of Tír na nÓg. He stays for what feels like days, but when he returns, 300 years have passed. And the moment he touches the earth, he becomes an old man. In China, an old woodcutter named Wang Ji wanders into the realm of immortals, watching them at play. And when he returns, his axe handle has rotted away with centuries. In Vietnam, the story of Tu Tuk tells of a man who rescues a goddess, visits her heavenly home, and returns to find his village gone, swallowed by time. Folklorists even classify these stories together under the code ATU 681, the relativity of time. It's a theme that touches science as well as myth. Today, physicists sometimes use the term Urashima effect as a poetic nickname for time dilation, the slowing of time as one moves through space. Across all lands, one truth lingers. Paradise may exist, but not for those who still belong to the world of men. 5. Legacy and living myth. How Urashima still breathes. Even after more than 1,000 years, Urashima Taro is still very much alive. In temples, textbooks, and the hearts of dreamers. His story is told in kabuki plays, in emaki picture scrolls, in painted folding screens, novels, and manga. And on Tsushima Island, the Watatsumi shrine still honors the sea god. Its torii gate rises from the waves, so that at high tide, the sea itself seems to enter the shrine, a vision of Ryūgū reborn in this world. In anime, film, and art, Urashima keeps returning. As a symbol of time travel, of nostalgia, of the bittersweet wish to go back. He stands between science and legend, between memory and dream. And perhaps, deep down, that's where he's always belonged. As a bridge between the ancient and the modern. The sea and the sky. The fleeting and the eternal. So next time you hear the waves whisper, listen closely. Maybe they're telling the same story. The one of a kind fisherman. A sea princess. And a box that carried all the time in the world.